Tweeting out the link of the two idiots next to me. We'll get to them. Joined by Marty Mush, Smitty, Nick Mangold, Mangold Mondays, and Chris Clemmer. Brought to you by Cars.com. Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car, celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars wherever life takes you next. And whoever you're looking to be, there's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. I said it all the time. Cars.com, one of the easiest experiences that I've ever had. Get yourself to Cars.com. Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next? All right. A lot of games yesterday. I'm sure we could start anywhere in the NFL. We saw a fake tush push. Smitty, that was pretty...
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Pretty good.
We saw a tush push fumble, brotherly love fumble, and then a fake one. That was a
Cooper
success.
Flag to Duke. That's a big story.
World Series was entertaining.
Good for me.
World Series was entertaining. But I guess we got to start with the Battle of New York, which is more like the pillow fight of New York, the way that the offense is played. So, yeah, all right. Floor is yours. The Jets win
Hey, Rico.
a hapless game.
Rico, as a Giants fans, who's the real winner of this game? Us.
Probably, yeah.
They got no chance doing dick. We got a better draft pick coming.
What are you talking? We got no chance.
You got no chance.
Peasants. Please, we are your kings. Let us talk. Yeah. Sit over there and be our subject. Great win yesterday, Clemmer.
Yeah, you guys take that.
Great win.
There's-
Overtime
Great
win.
Overtime.
On the road.
On the road. A lot of grit. There was a football game, football weather.
You know what I saw?
Sorry for the Giants, really.
You know what I saw? I saw a lot of great defense.
A lot of great defense, a lot of punts.
Yeah, a lot of great
great punting.
punts. Unbelievable. Some of the best punting I've ever seen.
Good for Morstead.
Unbelievable.
That
Three
game
inside the 5.
Yeah.
3. That was
That game
great.
should have been on, you know how like the bad Big Ten games,
Yeah.
Big Ten Network? CBS should not have put that game on CBS.
You
Should
guys,
have been on CBS Sports.
you guys should be ashamed of
knocked it
yourselves. You should be all
Oh,
ashamed.
hold on there. You lost us too. Peasant.
Yeah, you lost it.
No. I'm not saying the Jets.
Yeah,
I'm saying
no.
the Jets and Giants. I switched over to red zone for 3 seconds from the Eagles game, in which came like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. A statement that just blew my mind away. The most punts in a game in the last 20 years, with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We're just showing
How
off.
do you people sleep at night?
We're showing off our skill.
Did
They
you,
punted too.
did you see those
Don't
punts?
forget.
That's what I mean.
Two teams to punt.
Those
We
were
had
great
Tommy
punts.
DeVito playing.
I don't know.
Why?
We're sitting in this room.
Tyrod Taylor got hurt.
He
He had 8 yards.
How had Zach Wilson playing? He had Aaron Rodgers.
No.
8 yards passing.
This
Eight.
This isn't just now.
We're negative.
Over the last 10 years, the Giants have put at least 3 quarterbacks out there, backup quarterbacks, who they have not trusted the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, how did we just now realize? I watched Syracuse and you knew the name. How do we just now realize Tommy DeVito is the name from Goodfellas?
I mean, we didn't. That was
That's-
instant.
What? You knew right away?
Yeah.
I didn't know right away. Took a little while. I didn't know.
Twitter
right away.
Twitter knew.
No. I know. I didn't know right away. But I didn't know at Syracuse. How did we not know when he was at Syracuse?
Because nobody pays attention.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
Syracuse.
Well,
Also,
I
no
do.
one
We follow
cares
college
if
pretty.
he
I'm
is.
disappointed in myself. But anyway, yeah. I mean, he couldn't fucking throw.
Which Tommy
Literally wouldn't let him
DeVito?
throw.
Which Tommy DeVito ended better? The Goodfellas Tommy DeVito or the one yesterday?
Goodfellas Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
I don't know. DeVito got to score a touchdown.
That's true.
He
did score a
played.
touchdown.
The guy was not expecting to play probably ever, and he got it. That was the worst but best game I've ever watched. I'd rather watch that
They
game.
didn't trust him to throw a single pass.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, man.
I honestly, I'd rather Clement throw than Tommy DeVito. I really do.
Then he threw one in
Saquon
overtime and it
Barkley-
got called back for the offsides, and it was like 3 yards.
I think Tommy Smokes tweeted this. Was like any agent, any team that wants to watch any tape on Saquon, look what he had to do yesterday. He had over 30 carries, over 30, and he almost won. We should have won the game. Dable, in all seriousness, he lost us the game.
That's the storyline coming out of
He's
it.
a
I don't
fucking
have as
idiot.
much on the Jets. I have more so 4th and 1. It's 3 yards. How do you not go for it? Explain it this way. You have been in some pretty important locker rooms, more than me and Smitty combined. So we'll defer to you here as the football expert, as I think most people would. How does Dable go back to that locker room and look at those 5 guys, even as bad as they've been, and not be like, yeah, I trusted you to get a yard?
The offensive line.
Oh, I think it was just. I'd like you to answer.
Yeah, that's tough. And he probably did go in. I mean, he's not going to say it in the media because, coach has to, what he does on the field, he's got to back it up and say, like, I thought that was right call in that position. But he's got to go to that offensive line room today. But, guys, I should have trusted you more. Next time I will. Because that's when it's 1 yard and you know that the offense, the New York Jets offense wasn't doing anything.
No.
And so they would have had to go the full distance and still kick the field goal. So, like, you thought that at any chance, you have to give it to your guys up front and give it to Saquon, the guy who's been running your offense. Give him the opportunity.
I just looked at it as you change it obviously from a field goal to now a touchdown has to beat you. But if they scored the touchdown, the extra point beats you anyway. Like, it didn't necessarily make it a two-score game, or it didn't make it a touchdown game where, worst case, you're going to overtime. They scored that touchdown. They're hitting the extra point. They're losing anyway. Also, they could have ended the game, and he just opened up Pandora's box of missed the field goal, blocked the field goal.
You already missed a field goal.
Well, I was listening at.
More bad things can happen. You can literally end the game on one play. It's the same thing we joke about all the time with the gambling. Like, why does that guy go down in the end zone, not cause a spread? Because it's a smart play, and he ended the game. Dable could have ended the game there. It was super dumb.
I get it in a little. I'm trying to think of what he's thinking about because I don't think the Jets are scoring it. They can't score a touchdown in that. They wouldn't have been able to. It would have been tough. Would have been very tough, but.
I mean, nobody thought they were going to score the field goal.
Right. I mean, it counted the 1 second. 1 second.
They got a little
out
lucky.
in the street.
Well,
yeah.
And also with that one,
Jetski had posted. He was out in the,
Out of the street.
mezzanine.
Get back out.
Wait a second, Nick, as a professional center in the National Football League, was that legal what they did to set the ball up?
No.
Like, they set the ball up themselves,
And the ref
snapped it.
touched the ball.
I think the ref touched it.
finger.
That counts.
Ref touch.
The ref touched it with a finger, though, based off of them saying the
Also,
spot was there.
only every
The
other
ref put-
team when every other team when you tackle someone, you lay on him.
Yeah.
As long as you
Just
can.
let him
and
get
they
up.
let him get right up. And I was like, what are you guys doing? The only thing of Dable I could see is that, listen, the Jets knew what was going to come on 4th and 1. They weren't going to throw the ball. They knew that. So I guess, like, you have to, if he kicks that field goal, the Giants kind of do win if he doesn't miss it. But that is the chance you're running, is that he missed it. And he already missed one before. And Graham Gano, we just fucking paid him for 4 years, that moron. He missed everything. I mean, anyone wants to say anything about Daniel Jones, that's what you'd get. You'd get that any game, those fucking two quarterbacks.
I just thought Dable was stupid. And then as it turns out, if they let that wide receiver, like the D-back makes the play there almost too quick. If he goes 2 more yards,
Oh, yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
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 No, yeah.
It's just like a weird thing. And then I'm in the fucking blender because I crossed the Jets off in
I was
Survivor,
idiotic.
so now Donnie Damage and Primo are very mad at me. Thought it was
wouldn't
over.
be if-
Literally thought it was. I was like, it's over. It's over. The Giants giving the Jets the ball back there is unforgivable.
All right.
It really is.
I have a center question for you. Jets running a third-string center. Fourth?
Well, the
First
starting center was out. Tippmann was out.
Yeah.
Third
McGovern got hurt. And
Fourth.
yeah, okay. So, right. Who wasn't a center.
Right.
The first 2 snaps were not great. And then he kind of figured it out. Were you shocked he figured it out so quick, or did he not really figure it out and I don't really know what I was watching, or kind of maybe what happened there?
No, I think it was just nerves. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not expected. You're the emergency backup center. You're not expecting to do it. So when you get in that situation, and especially a tight ball game and everything, I think the nerves take over, and
Okay.
he just kind of settled in because he reps it and he does it in practice and everything. So it's
Does he do it in practice, even though he's like the 4th-string guy?
yeah. I
Okay.
assume. I mean, you always keep options open.
And then, so what do the Jets do from here? Now, we have the trade deadlines tomorrow. Do you go and get a center? Is that something you can't just go and get in the trade? Like, how does that work?
You guys had Justin here. I'm just waiting for my phone to ring, I guess.
Okay.
Sitting on the couch.
Would honestly, if they called you,
Yeah.
would you think about it for a second?
No.
You just got. Hey, listen, I think you're better than 4th string right now.
Could I get in the way of somebody? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I move anybody? No.
No.
But I can
You
get,
can't
get
get in
run
the way.
over. Yeah.
When were you last asked about coming back?
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel bad anymore. Like, it might feel good if they just asked.
I mean, it would be nice.
Okay.
It would make
Like, I'm not going
it
to go to the
would make-
party, but at least invite me.
it would make me feel better.
Yeah.
Like,
What
I
would be
don't-
the price starting at? You knew you would have to go back to your wife because you can sell it kind of. It's really only Halloween till Christmas, but like, what would be? You'd have to go back
Halloween to
before you
Valentine's
can
Day.
even start the conversation.
I think over 7 figures. So you'd start at $1 million.
Okay.
After taxes,
They could give you $1 million.
you walk away with $500,000 after taxes. Like that, I could do that.
Okay.
So are you right now? Are you claiming you will not go back to the Jets?
There you go. That can't.
All right.
It's impossible.
Meek Phil, what's breaking?
So can the Jets go and trade for a center? Or can you plug a center in halfway through the season?
No,
Or is
I
that
think
crazy?
Tippmann is getting healthier. I think he
Okay.
was close to being ready to go this game. So I think there's an
You
option.
still need a backup.
Yeah, well, you have a backup. I mean, he was serviceable.
All right.
So I don't know if you're going to trade for a backup center.
Okay.
Would have that been the first win of a team that had negative passing yards? I
That's a good question.
gotta be, right?
Gotta
I
be.
don't think that's ever.
1936.
Those stats
whatever.
were the funniest
Or the forward
stats.
pass.
Yeah, right.
And like honestly, so obviously we know the Giants are dog shit. Their defense has been playing very good, but the Jets, what the? If you don't have Breece Hall in that game, you lose 1,000%.
We also have-
Why isn't
Garrett
Breece-
Wilson,
why-
too.
why
Garrett
isn't-
Wilson, 100 yards.
Why isn't Breece Hall getting every snap? Like, what's the holdback here?
I don't know. And we also had some terrible penalties. There were
Oh, my
a
God.
couple of the drives going that were just like, what are we doing? So it was a frustrating game all in all. But again, you are our peasants, and so deal with it.
Hey, Wilson did make throws when it mattered.
He did, and
Yeah.
there were some drops, and he didn't throw any interceptions. So we're trying to find the bright spots of terrible game.
No, we're not finding any bright spot in that game. Zero. We're not gonna find any.
No, we got the win.
Yep.
You could have the win. He sucks.
Kings in New York.
And do you like
I mean, you got to bring back. It's got to be Rodgers.
Rodgers could probably play better than him right now.
He was slinging it.
He was slinging it.
He was even moving around a little bit.
He was putting a little weight on that foot. It's crazy that he's even doing that right now. I don't give a fuck what anyone do you think about him. That's crazy.
It's wild. It's almost like impossible medically.
It's crazy.
Like I don't know how it's.
It was a month and a half ago. It's insane.
I don't get it. I love it, but I
on
don't.
the Madagascar drugs. But yeah, it's weird. The Giants stink, but they're in a lot of games. Like they're still. Imagine what the narrative would be. They'd be right there in the playoff if they stole the Bills' win and stole this one, which they had.
If
They
we
had
stole
both
this
of those.
one, we were like
had this one.
We're like a game back at the wild card.
Are they Giants 2-6 right now?
Or 2-6.
Is
It'd be
Dable on the
4-4.
hot seat?
The Broncos,
Daniel Jones
Broncos
come
have a
back.
better record than the Giants right now.
Broncos. Can I say something? Russell Wilson's stats pretty good this year. People aren't looking at him, but they're actually.
They are pretty
Fantasy
decent.
wise, he's decent.
Now, the Broncos, though, I mean, there was snow on the field. Obviously, before the
No
game.
snow. 'Cause that
Before
was
the
bullshit.
game.
Before the game. Patrick Mahomes was sick. There was a lot of things going on. I took the under in that game, worked out. Because there's just so many weird variables.
I took the under and I was expecting a fucking blizzard. And I see, I'm like watching the game. I'm like, oh my God. But thankfully it took.
4:00 game, yeah. But yeah, I have that on there too. Casey looked like shit. I mean, they just didn't look good. Did we write that off as a one-time thing? Because everyone kind of has their one-time
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I think it was just like he said, he was sick, and also you can tell he wasn't himself. But it's funny how bad they are when he is not himself. That's how good he makes that team.
Taylor Swift wasn't there.
I think that has something to do.
Well,
with it.
also Kelsey was.
Well, Denver's
Well,
a dry state. You got to remember that.
Well, Kelsey had an Ace of Spades bottle 3 nights ago.
Why was he in Dallas? I don't.
He can do whatever he wants.
I know he can, but like that is just why I just usually everything else made sense. Philly was an hour away from here, whatever.
His brother plays there.
No, yeah, that made sense. I'm saying the doubt, like at the World Series.
Still weird Friday night before a game, right? Is that strange? No?
It does seem odd, but I mean it's Kelsey.
could do
who's
it
gonna,
for-
who's
Yeah.
gonna say boo?
And he didn't play bad anyway. He played fine.
Like I don't think anybody like if Brady was like, oh, I'm gonna go somewhere on a Friday night,
Yeah.
and comes back and slings it around. Like, all right, yeah, it's Tom Brady. He can do whatever he wants.
I didn't like Marty's tone earlier. Marty's like, oh, the Jets are very alive right now.
Okay. Sure. You watch that
They're
game.
Not with him.
4-3.
They're alive, sure,
but
but
you gotta call it
seem-
not with him. Like behind
You're just not. You're not gonna do anything with him.
impossible. There's
I'm
no
being
chance.
Dead serious. Your defense is fantastic.
It's good enough. It's going to be good enough to get us
No,
into
well,
the
you
playoff
go-
contention.
You will have to go on the road for every playoff game. So run through AFC quarterbacks.
They aren't
and
gonna
tell
get
me,
there.
tell me that any.
I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm saying we are in the playoff contention, which is what I want right now.
Yeah, but
That's fine. I get that.
I said
And then you
that.
get there,
I
and then you
said
start praying. You start hoping things work out. But until you get there, you
if
can't.
you win the next 2 games, the next 2 are very winnable. Where it's Chargers, Raiders.
You could have Mother Teresa on the sideline with him. Name me a 3 quarterback combo in the AFC that all breaks considered you think you can win in wild card, divisional, and AFC.
I can't. But you know what? 5 quarterbacks got hurt this week. Things can happen. Crazy shit can play, and then it works out. Like, I don't know. I'm not even thinking about that element right now. I'm thinking about let's just try to get there as a fan.
Speaking of all those quarterbacks that went down, what did the Vikings do now? Because the Vikings started to get hot.
That's it.
3-4.
Trade for Daniel Jones.
And it's like, do they trade for anybody, or it's like now they just do like?
Oh, it's over.
Someone made a good point. Well, let's get Tannehill over there. Get
Tannehill can't stay healthy on his own team.
I know, but that's what are they gonna like? What do the Vikings do now? Who is their backup? I have actually no idea.
He's a rookie.
Kid from
Jaron something.
Hall.
Jaron Hall, I think.
That's
Yeah.
not a guy. That's not a name.
From BYU. His first name is
Pretty good
Jaron.
stats at BYU after Zach Wilson. I do remember that.
That's not gonna go over well for him.
Well, it actually could be worse. What if he's the good quarterback at a BYU?
Yeah.
Oh.
It'd be way
I feel
worse.
bad
than
for
Zach
Kirk
Wilson.
Cousins though, because that's his first
Yeah.
injury that's taken him out.
Also,
He needs to go immediately to Rodgers' doctor, though.
right now.
Right now.
his contract ends the end of this year.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry, Cousins. So he was in a
it
weird. He
sucks.
said that too. We didn't know what. I thought they were going to be a dumpster fire. They were rallying. They looked good yesterday. Obviously, like
sucks for Cousins, but if I was a Vikings fan, it's not the worst thing in the world because everything is laid out there now. You know what's supposed to happen.
They're signing him back.
Jaron Hall, 3 for 4, 23 yards.
You think
Yeah.
off of an Achilles?
Yep, I think they are. I really do. I really think they're going to sign him again because they really do love him over there.
Well, they
I
do
love
love him, but I mean,
But I feel like,
If they loved him, they would have signed him already.
but I think they can sign him for less now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I think they can now. They know they can get him discounted.
but I mean, there's so many quarterback needy teams that someone's going to throw money at him.
Off that injury, you think?
Oh, yeah.
If he's pulling the Aaron Rodgers,
But he might want to stay for a discount too. I
well,
don't know.
that could be true.
Yeah,
Why-
like, that's why I think it almost works out for them more that he got hurt.
I almost wish you bounced around a little bit. You only played with the one team, obviously. What is it? Why is the NFL so quarterback needy?
What?
Like, what is it about these guys that come in? It's just every team. A lot of teams still need quarterbacks.
It's quarterback.
A lot of teams don't have good quarterbacks. I guess
There's
like
10 good quarterbacks.
I don't know.
in
You
the
see a
entire
kid.
world.
You see a kid come in, or like a third-round kid, or third-string kid, or just around the league, or guys you talk to. Like I don't know. What is it about? Like, do guys not put in the preparation? Do scouts not evaluate correctly? Because it's wild that it's like, all right, who's the Vikings quarterback? It's not a guy that was pushing Cousins. It's Jaron Hall, a 6th rounder. He's a backup. Like I can't figure out how we don't have, let alone 32 good quarterbacks to start in this league. It's crazy.
I think it's because you can't hide a quarterback. So you have quarterbacks in the position everyone sees them. Like you can have a lower tier guard if you have a good tackle and a good center around him. Like you can get by that way. You can have a lower tier defensive tackle if you have a stud middle linebacker behind him. Like you can have a lower cornerback if you have a safety always covering over the top. So most positions you can cover up a guy. Yeah. Quarterback you can't cover up. And so it's the most high profile position. It's the most taxing. It's the most mentally taxing where you have to study and you have to know film, playbook, and every checks and balances, all that stuff. So it's one of those things where you can have. It's like a brain surgeon, right? There's only so many great brain surgeons, but there are brain surgeons who are bottom of their class, but they're still performing brain surgery. But
I hate that analogy, but you're right.
You're right.
You're right.
Not every doctor was the best in their class.
Right.
Most of them.
Most of them are not. The majority are not the best in their class, but you're still going to go to that doctor. So it's like that's the NFL quarterback is their brain surgeon. You do have the really good ones, and then you have mediocre ones where you're like, well, we're hoping for the best.
Jesus.
It's just crazy. It's crazy that they can't. We can't put.
My king.
Can't put 32.
Dude, there's really there's not. There might be 8 good quarterbacks in the NFL. Like very good. Those are.
It's always that way.
I don't know if it's been I feel like we've always had staples of a team for a while now. Like we saw yesterday, the Bears have had 20 quarterbacks since 2006. That's insane.
Well, the Browns, the Bears.
The Chargers only had 3. You know, like, and that's because Tyrod got stabbed
Commanders
in the chest
too.
by their
The doctor.
by their doctor.
Who was not the best in the class.
Who they just fired
there.
last. Yeah, he's still there, right? I
He's
think
still
he's
there.
still there, or he just got fired last year. But like, it's just crazy where you look and you almost gotta be thankful for having a decent quarterback.
Yeah, I feel like the teams that have had it. So like Pittsburgh, like you had
Yeah.
Roethlisberger for 18 years.
Giants.
Brady. Giants had Eli forever. Indy had Peyton forever. Like you have those teams. I think the only ones that's really gotten lucky was been the Packers going from and San Fran going from Montana and Young, but Favre to Rodgers. Like those 2 teams, you had 30 years, 2 quarterbacks. Like
I would say Dallas. I know there's going to be some time in there that I'm missing exact years.
You're forgetting Quincy Carter.
I got it, but
Drew
I think
Bledsoe.
for the long period of time, Dallas had a pretty good run with Aikman, Romo into Dak. I know there's some bad years in there in between, and it might be a bigger gap than I'm remembering.
Some bad years with Dak.
Yeah, but he's still pretty
Yeah, he's serviceable.
Yeah, Dallas has had.
Bledsoe was okay with them for like a couple years.
Yeah, Dallas has had a pretty good run.
like the list of Browns quarterbacks over the past.
It's insane.
18
The
seasons.
jersey, that graphic, it's
Yeah,
insane.
the graphic every year you see it. And
It's just amazing how many teams just can't get it right, or the fact that you would think that the league has been
The Jets.
so up and down with quarterbacks.
Dude, right now,
Guys in college, they just come out, or somebody hits it, or they put in the work. I don't know. It's crazy to me that we can't get 32 good quarterbacks out in the.
right now
on the
you
field.
have Eagles, Bengals, Bills, Chiefs, and then I guess the Chargers and Ravens is definite. Off the top of my head,
Jaguars.
Jacksonville.
Jaguars.
I'm still.
And that's just still
ready to
some
put
people
him
are
up
some
there,
in
though.
that's not those are just Herbert and him are just young guys that have the talent but haven't put it fully together. There's only a certain
What about
amount
Geno
where.
Smith?
What do you say?
Geno
Seahawks.
Smith, they're in first place in that division.
Geno Smith thing.
That's crazy.
That team is not good. I don't know why. I just don't.
They
But
win.
they're not bad.
They're not that bad.
They're really not
They're
that
not that
bad.
bad.
Is everyone
5-2.
still blowing the 49ers?
Well,
Straight losses?
that's so the Bengals win big, 2 scores. Is the 49ers kind of the pumpkins turning into or the carriage turning into a pumpkin with them?
The frost is
Frost is
on
off the carriage turning into a pumpkin.
You
Yeah,
never get the sayings right.
I did get that one right. The carriage turning into a pumpkin. What's going on with the 49ers? Was Purdy
Brock Purdy
have a great run with a lot of weapons around him? Do we think Purdy is in that upper tier? What's going on with the 49ers?
Debo getting hurt.
Yeah, Debo.
Really hurt him
They
a
need
little
him
bit.
back.
Yeah.
I mean, Purdy's interceptions on those back-to-back throws, they were unacceptable.
He's also coming off concussion protocol, where it's people are so reactionary. It's insane. The guy has literally lost 4 games in his career now, or maybe just 3 now.
Regular season.
3 regular season. Where give him a second, but they do not look the same whatsoever.
3 in a row.
No, yeah.
That's-
No, you should definitely be talking about it for sure. But I don't. What are you gonna go to Sam Darnold?
Well, I think it's better big. I still think it's actually better big
Oh.
picture for the 49ers. 'cause
Or worse
in the,
backups.
in the beginning of the year, it was the 49ers won't lose a game. Watch this. The 49ers are going to flirt with undefeated. I don't think you want to be playing your best football before Halloween.
No, I always
I
agree.
kind of think it's better.
Sometimes
They got the
losses
target
are-
off, get the losses. This is now a point, and can they turn the tide and start playing their better football later into the year when it matters? So I actually think big picture it kind of helps the 49ers. But if they turn into the other variables, they could turn into a fucking 500 team real quick. What if it's just all with smoke and mirrors? So it's interesting.
Real quick with the Seahawks, you guys, they lost to the Rams. They have beat the Lions, and then they beat the Panthers, the Giants, the Cardinals, and the P.J. Walker Browns. That ain't.
P.J. Walker Browns beat the 49ers. A win's a win.
No, I get it's all wins, but
And especially Geno Smith, that last drive, if you saw it, not that bad.
yeah, no, it's different. Of not that bad and good. We're doing the Lions not that bad and the good stuff. They're not that bad 1,000%. They ain't good.
I think they're better than not that bad.
I don't think. So.
They're not that bad.
Yeah, I think they're not that bad. I don't think they're good.
They're not that bad.
But you're putting
not
them,
good.
You're putting
Not
them
that good.
You're putting
No,
them
they're not-
above
they're
the
not-
not that bad.
I'm not saying they're good, but they're better
above
than not that bad.
bad?
They're in between not that bad and good.
Elite
I don't think there
throwbacks,
is
though.
this category for that.
Elite
Elite
throwbacks.
throwback.
You got to name it.
Elite throwback.
Not that bad, but not that good.
Elite,
Yeah.
elite throwback.
I have some breaking Jets news. Connor McGovern dislocated kneecap. He is week to week.
Oh, how do you dislocate a kneecap?
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Horrible.
The Niners have not played the Seahawks yet. They played them twice in 3 weeks. In the middle of Niners play the Seahawks, Eagles, Seahawks during a stretch. The Niners also have to bye next week, which I think will really help them.
Yeah, we mentioned that this is a big one tonight for Detroit, because they could be looking at the 1 or 2 seed with the Eagles schedule and the 49ers schedule now.
Yeah, Eagles have Cowboys, and then I'm not sure the order, but Bills, Chiefs,
It's
49ers, Cowboys.
and a bye right after the Cowboys next week.
Yeah.
Eagles are the only team in the NFL with 1 loss.
So that's the big picture one I have, right? I have these teams written down. You can debate the order. I left off 2 teams because I want to know where they fit in. Right now I have, in terms of power rankings, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Dolphins, 49ers, Jaguars. Where do the Cowboys and Lions, where should they go on that list?
Do people remember what I said about this Cowboys game yesterday?
Yep.
How fucking spot on I was.
You were. I was thinking of you, Smitty.
Thank you, Lord Farquaad. I appreciate that. Tapeworm addiction.
Calm down.
I said a nice thing about you, you blockhead fuck.
That was a tough battle.
You are stupid. You are stupid. I was nice to you.
I think the Shrek reference was fantastic.
It's Shrek. I didn't need.
Tapeworm. What the
Oh, because
fuck?
you're skinnier than.
I said I was thinking of
If
you
you stand
positively.
in the corner, we don't see you.
This is why people
That's
hate you.
reasonable.
This is why I was nice to you, and then you were mean to me for no reason.
And I am cognizant of the fact that I should not have said that. I apologize.
God damn, you are dumb.
I deserve that treatment. But I was spot on with the Cowboys at home against the Rams, saying that this is a Rams team coming in, maybe playing a little better than they actually are. Stafford healthy, and the Cowboys were going to absolutely stomp them because that's what the Cowboys do. They beat on average teams, and people blow them to the high heavens. That's what they do.
Matt Stafford may not be healthy. They are debating if he wants to go to IR for his thumb injury or not.
Yeah.
But I think he was hurt during the game, though.
They were out of it before he
Yeah.
got hurt.
I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah.
The Rams were coming off a bad loss last week to the Steelers, though, too.
Yeah, but the Rams, people were saying like they could compete for a playoff spot.
That's what
They
I
might be
had.
a little better than they were.
Yeah, they were looking frisky. The big picture of that, where do the Rams, are the Rams dead now?
If Stafford's out,
Yeah,
for sure.
I think they're starting to come to
Who's their backup?
what they really are.
Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck is their backup? Go ahead. I'm dying to hear this one.
Well, Stetson Bennett's
Brett
not on the team
Rippon.
anymore, right?
Oh, Ripon?
Ripping.
Ripon? Yeah, from Boise State.
His son was his father was a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, he's from Boise.
I think your list was pretty good, Rico. Because I think like Chiefs and Ravens are very like you could put the Chiefs 2. I think with the Ravens 3. I think
I'm not ready to bury the Chiefs on the list off of one.
They could potentially still be 1. Like I know the Eagles playing great, but they could. Who would you rather play? By the way, the Commanders or the Chiefs? I think I'd rather play the Chiefs if I was you.
Commanders.
They
For
have
whatever
your
reason,
number.
Sam Howell turns into Peyton Manning in his prime
It's
against.
crazy.
It's nuts. It is nuts. They've given up 1,000 sacks on the year. The Eagles couldn't touch them. Couldn't touch them.
The
Eagles almost
Giants-
broke the record for sacks in the season last season. They couldn't touch them this year in both games. It's unbelievable.
It's actually one of the weirder things in the NFL how good the Commanders play when they play the Eagles.
Dude, if Ron Rivera could half coach, if he could just
Smith dropped that, right?
100%, the ball was rolling on the ground
quick.
right
I
in
didn't
front of
really
him.
see it.
That's
Yeah.
2 straight games Ron Rivera single-handedly cost the Commanders against the Eagles.
They also went to a review late with the Commanders looking like he had that ball that they waved away late too.
Yeah, that was.
He's the worst. He's one of the worst coaches out there.
He's horrible.
He is the worst.
He might
coach
be
out
the
there.
worst coach in the NFL.
So like,
Yeah, it's
why
close.
wouldn't they just dump Rivera and let Bieniemy be the head coach? Because Bieniemy's wanted to be a head coach for so fucking long now. Doesn't make any sense.
It's a fair question.
Wait, why is Bieniemy? Bieniemy never got a head job, right?
No.
No, he took the OC job in Washington.
I think
after
the
he couldn't
path-
get a head coaching job.
Why would he-
He's
but-
also considered like the co-head coach or
Because there's a clearer path.
like that.
Wasn't
Well,
Bieniemy was at the Chiefs for those.
Yeah.
for all those.
But you're not going to take Andy Reid's job,
Why
though,
would
Rico. You could take Ron Rivera's job.
Yeah, but people are saying that he deserves
not
a
gonna
shot somewhere in the NFL. LaShawn McCoy talked about Bieniemy before and said that he wouldn't get a head coaching job because he is that much of a hard S to the players, like over the top.
Really?
Take that for what it's worth.
I don't know. There's something because I don't think the NFL there's such a small window for the NFL for the owners to take a chance, and the fact that no one's taken a chance on him yet. Like I don't know if he's just a bad interviewer, if they're really going with the racist side of it, or if he is a hardo with the players and like the other coaches see that. So it's a very weird situation.
Now the longer and longer it goes, you don't want to be the first guy to jump in the pool either.
Yeah, like listen, we all knew like it was going to be bad.
You look that much dumber.
Especially if it doesn't work out. Like if it doesn't work out, like see,
Or
we
you could
told
look smart too if it did, but signs.
Well, that's a
point
big
to
risk.
it. No.
Yeah, if you were if you did it early, people could forgive you. Could be like, well, how was I supposed to know he was a hot name on the rise?
I agree.
And then they forget about it in yesterday's news. If you're the second guy to take the chance on that, you could say, well, right place. But I think now if you're the first guy waiting this long, it's brutal.
Now it's a lose-lose unless you win a Super Bowl like right off the bat.
Exactly.
You must give the worst interviews ever. You know, imagine how bad these interviews must be.
It's got to be terrible.
Yeah, it gotta be pretty bad.
Yeah, I think the play should justify it. But yeah, I guess you're gonna need a guy you need him out there. So press and shit like that. So where would you put the Cowboys? They're obviously not last on that list, or are they?
No, they're above the. I think they're above the.
Yeah.
You got to put them above the Jaguars. I think.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
know about that.
I wouldn't.
Cowboys and Jaguars face off tomorrow. You're picking the Cowboys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I think I am. I think a lot of people shit on the Cowboys a lot, which they respectfully should, but like, I don't think that they crown the Jaguars pretty early as well. I think that people are crowning them real early.
5-2.
The Cowboys are what?
Yeah.
5-2.
Jags is 6-2.
What are the
Cowboys are 5 and
In a
2.
row, I think the Jaguars.
Cowboys are 5-2? It's the same. They're honestly the same team to me.
And I struggle with the 2 wins for the Jaguars being in London. Like those are kind of cheap wins.
They're home games.
They're home games, but like like Buffalo came out sleeping.
Yeah.
And so they were
Jaguars
able to knock
It was
not been good.
honestly a decade-long plan to get home games in London for the Jaguars.
it was the
Yeah,
long
the
long
it
con
was-
just for the
That
just
was
for
the long
Jags.
game, but the Jaguars' offense hasn't been great.
No, but the Steelers' defense is pretty good. Obviously.
I'm saying just like throughout, like
Yeah.
the past.
No, they have. That's why everybody keeps being like, how could you not put Trevor Lawrence into the VIP? I said there were times like that. They needed a miracle last year to win that playoff game. During a lot of times last year that they didn't look good in the season. So yeah, that's why I've waited. Now I think they're in a prime spot. They could be looking at potentially a bye.
Yeah.
AFC, if they get their shit together. So
I mean, the Cowboys are likely to just play the whole playoffs on the road.
Next week.
If the Eagles-
Well, not next week. In 2 weeks, the 49ers Jaguars
right,
after their
Yeah,
bye.
after the
It's
bye,
a-
yeah.
It's a
massive,
Great game.
massive. The other team on there too that I'm still waiting to see kind of what goes on is the Lions. Like, are the Lions fifth in the best in the NFL? The Lions sixth best in the like. Where do the Lions fit in? I don't know. We'll see tonight.
I don't know.
Well, they'll blow out the Raiders tonight. I have no worries.
That's the thing, though.
Really?
I have a
And
feeling
they're going to
the
run away
Raiders-
with the division now.
I think the
Jimmy
Raiders
Garoppolo
might,
is back. I don't know if that.
I think the Raiders might do it tonight.
I'm rooting for the Raiders.
I'm not even kidding. This is a game the Lions lose.
Oh, I don't know.
When you're like,
I don't know.
very-
After
that.
They got
last week. If they lost
Dan
close
Campbell?
or won last week,
After that loss,
yeah.
I don't know.
isn't going to be in the players' ears the whole week.
It's tough to play against teams that are a little like desperate already. Desperate.
I think the Lions might be a little desperate after that loss. They
They might be playing a little more desperate. But what's
Should
what's
be.
what's the line tonight?
7.
7.
I might do it.
I'm not. I'm all on the World Series. That 7's scary to me. It's about where I see that thing's gonna finish.
Yeah.
I like Marty's vibes. This feels like the kind of game where Jimmy Garoppolo goes for like 180, 2 interceptions. Then you look at him after the game. He's smiling, handsome after a win.
I like it.
I think
Go for
Devontae
some
Adams is going to have just like a field day today. But we got to talk about our company friend, Will Levis. Holy shit.
Looked good.
What a great game. He found out hey, let's just throw the ball up to DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
He'll find it.
Unbelievable.
Like, I don't know what he should do every game. The fact that Tannehill doesn't do that, and that one throw, the wasn't to DeAndre Hopkins, I forget who scored a touchdown, was a crazy touchdown pass he had, his fourth one. Now, he looked amazing. And what does the Titans do?
They have to start him.
You have to.
Oh, Tannehill got Wally pipped. You got to
Tannehill
start.
You know
cannot
how
come
long
back.
Tannehill's going to be out?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be. I heard
he's
2
healthy
weeks.
next week, though. Do you start him?
I-
No, right?
Trade him.
I think he's hurt. Yeah,
You're getting a lot of. I think you
Yeah.
a team like, and they're not in your conference, so Minnesota is still in the picture for that playoff race. Trying to think of who else would like.
But that's the deadline's tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Would the Falcons take Tannehill?
Tannehill's just not healthy.
That's not a crazy team.
He's
to
not
go
healthy.
to.
When he's healthy, he's,
No, I know.
he's just not healthy.
But
I mean, like, how long are we talking? Like, is he?
I heard 2 weeks, right?
Not healthy Tannehill's better than Desmond Ridder.
When do we start getting the in the hunt graphic? Is that after like Thanksgiving?
No, I kind of like it now. I think it should
Couple
be
weeks?
I really do think it should be week 1. Works. That's my hot take.
What?
The network should like pick and choose who they list at 0-1 based off of no. Like, I feel like if you waited to the game for hours after and you saw Tarico or Herb Street like leaving the parking lot and the staff and the fans like, why would you put the Giants at 0-1 all the way down the list? And they're like, well, just personal bias. Like, I just want them to just piss off the fans more so.
It would be great if they put it out before week 1. So in the hunt, like they haven't even played a game yet.
I like that. Just go completely overboard. And like, it's not points scored. It's the networks have their own bias of who
Oh yeah.
who goes. I also think all the networks should just change up the actual tiebreakers, like on those rankings. So if there's 3 teams tied at 5-2, but based off of it, one of them is clearly ahead of the other 2 on those tiebreakers, NBC should show one way, ABC, ESPN show another way. Just fuck around with everything. Just
We predict they're going to score more
do it,
points.
yeah, do it how you want to do it.
If the season
true
ended
personal
today,
bias.
the Vikings would be in the playoffs.
Ew.
Yep.
Ew.
And they also won
It's a
their last
wild-
2 games
Well, look at the
without.
wild card.
Justin
It's so
Jefferson.
early, but it's like
Wild card teams right now in the AFC would be the Bills, the Steelers, and the Browns. In the NFC, it would be the Cowboys, Vikings, and Niners.
If the Browns had a half a quarterback, I think they'd be so good.
Here are the other.
Yeah,
here,
PJ Walker's not playing awful.
here are
That's what I'm
teams-
saying, though. Just if they had a half a quarterback.
This is where it gets even crazier. Here are teams 1 game out of a wild card spot. You ready for this? Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, LA Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders. All one. The Las Vegas Raiders are 9th in the AFC. The Colts are 3-5. They're a game and a half out of the fucking.
Yeah.
They're all right there.
And you have the Bengals and Jets, both 4-3, because the tiebreakers would not be in.
And then the same with the NFC. Who's a game out of the wild card? The Bucks, Rams, Commanders. All 3-5. Like
The Saints
it's a
lose on a
gross-
tiebreaker. The Saints would not be in.
In the hunt graphic would be pretty awesome right now.
Oh, it's
The
awesome.
Giants are still
Awesome.
in the hunt.
Awesome.
2-6 in the hunt.
In the hunt.
I also did the fucking Saints a favor yesterday. So I was just Saints overs all the time. Kept losing, horrible. I looked at a graphic. The Saints unders were 16-1 at a certain point to the under. I go, all right, here we go. Chase the tail, under. I said it right away. I go, well, you're welcome, Saints fans. The game was a shootout in the first quarter.
That was the
I
Colts,
knew
though.
exactly what I was doing. But I will say this, like, the Saints is still kind of in the mix. They're going to win that. I think they'll win that division. They should be the front runner.
yeah,
You
it's-
trust the Falcons? I don't trust the Bucks either.
No, the Bucks have not shown it. It's been getting talked about this week a lot, but Statman. See, I didn't call you Stat Boy. That was nice of me.
Well, you should call me Stat. I was 5-0 yesterday, by the way, and I think I have the best record in the of our group here this month.
I don't know if you know that, but
I do know that because the kid told me.
Well, tell him
Guy
to
told me.
send it to us all. Well,
I like this.
Statman, the most underrated player that you don't really realize is kind of up to like elite running back is Kamara. Did you see like him and McCaffrey just have the same exact stats of their career?
Kamara's awesome.
It's insane how he's not talked about like that, where he does everything for the Saints. Anything you need, he's doing, and it's insane. I love him on the field.
He's so good.
That should be
Yeah.
a show, too. We should just go live for a half hour and do blind resumes at all.
Dude,
all
I'm
times.
addicted to blind resume.
At all times.
I love it. I almost did it for this.
I think he obviously got overshadowed by Breeze, but also there was always like a number 2 with him.
Ingram. Always. And it was just like, oh, it's just him. It's like he would always be. He should just be the only one back there. They should never put anyone else back there. Unless he needs a break.
Marty, I'll tell you why people think that, because sometimes they give the goal line carries to Taysom Hill, and it just fucks over his fantasy owners.
Fucking Taysom Hill.
It's like Varsity Blues.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, how many yards I average? 113 or 136. How many touchdowns I got? 2. He's like, only because I broke it from 25 yards. Like, they're just not giving him the ball around the goal line. Yeah. Yeah, Saints back in that mix. Jaguars with a strong win over the Steelers. And Dolphins are kind of an afterthought. A little worry. What?
What's your take on them? Like,
That was a game that if they lost, I was putting them in the straight up fraud category with the Bills.
So that's what
They took care of business.
The Bills are frauds still? I don't think so. That's up. You can. I don't think so.
Not frauds, but they did
do
with
this all the time. They've dropped games where like, oh, they suck, and then they come back and like, whoa.
They're bipolar.
Yeah.
Bills.
They were
What are we
supposed
gonna
to
They're
build
like the
them out.
Ravens, kind of, where they play down to their competition.
They have the Bengals this week.
That'll be a big.
Yeah, it's Sunday night.
It was. It's a good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, as a gambling show, if I had the Cardinals. If you had the Ravens, I am so sorry. That was the
horrible.
worst beat. They were people had them -9 Ravens or -10. They were up 31-15 with like I'd say 2 minutes left. The Cardinals scored a touchdown, and they're down now 10. Now it's 10, so you're pushing or you're winning at -9. Then they do an onside kick, and all hands team Nelson Aguilar's out there like a moron, drops it. Cardinals get it and kick a field goal, and they lose by 7. That you don't see an onside kick happen, especially when they're down like 10. It's like not gonna happen or whatever. Brutal.
Wasn't it this blockhead idiot though who said on Friday like be wary of the Cardinals?
Yeah,
They have been. You were on that.
I said for survivor purposes, the Cardinals.
Yeah, they've been
and the Bears.
Yeah, you said be careful. You said the Cardinals going to come out frisky, and they did. I mean,
The Cardinals have
versus
not
Broncos
quit. The
were
Cardinals
really
have not
bad.
quit at all. And I'm telling you right now, clocks go back. Which, ready for this one, Nick? Smitty said that clocks going back was shut down.
It was
The government shut it down.
Something happened. Something
It was a
happened.
thing.
something happened.
Whatever.
Something happened where they signed in the law that the daylight savings was no more. Then all of a sudden we're having daylight savings again.
Smitty's going to be an hour late every day next
I'm gonna
week.
back you up. It was a thing.
I don't think it was a thing.
What?
There may have been like a town that
definitely a
outlawed it.
No, it was
it's-
definitely.
it was
It was like everyone's like, oh
They thought
wow,
it was
it's all-
nationwide.
it was a whole thing on Twitter. Everyone's like, oh, well, I guess we're gonna be like
If it's
Arizona.
on Twitter, that's not real.
Right.
I hate to be the breaker.
You guys
of
know
bad
there's
news.
actual news sites, right? That you can go to and.
You think I'm looking up like?
No,
CNN
I'm
or
surprised you can read, Marty.
something? I don't think CNN's ever been like
I know.
or whatever.
Fall back is I mean, it's terrible in the spring. The spring forward is horrible, but fall back is one of the greatest things.
Well, no, it's
Oh, but
well,
then spring's great right after that.
yeah. Is it
6
no,
o'clock
I
at
mean,
night, you're walking
4:30
home,
at
it's still
night.
nice out.
awful.
You're gonna
I
say
love that.
that with a couple kids?
Yeah,
Okay.
fall back is fantastic. Spring forward's the worst, and they don't sleep that much.
But don't the kids get up an hour early?
Now they're up at 3 a.m.
Well, whose kids waking up at 3 a.m.?
My fucking kids.
Well, get them on track. That's on you. That's parenting.
But the clock's going back for the last 15 years of my life. It feels like if I'm alive, this is the point now where there's not that many entries left. You start to like see the rainbow and the pot of gold at the end. For the last 15 years, it feels like the weekend that the clocks go back, it's 3:45 or 4:22 in the afternoon, and I'm watching the Saints in a game that they are favored, and they lose in horrific fashion. So I put that out there to anyone else. It feels like maybe you didn't count it, you didn't realize it year after year. Be aware of the Saints this week. Just be aware, because it always feels like this is when I lose the Survivor. So.
Saints are playing the Bears this week
Yes,
Oh, God,
and it will be 50% of your pools.
in New Orleans.
Be aware.
That is actually a perfect like. So many people are gonna have.
Yeah,
Dude,
you
I'm
know.
telling you, it's every year. It's when the clocks go back.
I get it.
It's dark. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I should have taken a nap. I wish I fucking crafted. I wish I went to yard sales. I wish I read. Like, why am I watching this game?
I already got an A+ play for this week.
Ooh.
Survivor. Atlanta at home.
Oh, they're another one. They're the runner-up.
Yeah, but you know who they're playing?
Yeah, who?
Minnesota.
Oh.
With a backup quarterback.
I don't know if
And
I
a
trust
must-win
their
game.
defense. I don't know. How about this? The first
hold
year
your
ever.
breath game,
Ready for
but
this?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to win, you want to win the pot.
The first year
Gotta do
ever,
it.
I think it was like 2012 or 2013, the first year ever that they put in a rule that you could run back 2-point conversion plays. It used to just be you throw an interception to a guy dead in the flats, and he had 100 yards in front of him of just cleared. That's it. They blew it dead. The first year that they ever put it up, the Falcons scored a touchdown with like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter to go up, let's say 30-29. They go for the 2 to make it a 3-point game. Kansas City runs it all the way back. The game ended like there in terms of scoring. I lost the first year that they allowed that 2-point one. These losses just haunt you for years. So the Falcons are another one that I worry about. The third team would be the Chargers. Again, 4 o'clock. I'm watching.
Chargers
I'm like,
always-
they lose at Denver. It's the worst game ever. Like
Monday, I think it's Chargers Jets.
Oh,
You
just
got that
Chargers
right.
In general,
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
Oh,
Rivers
yeah.
throwing stupid ass picks.
Oh.
It is what it is. So
Who would you right now? I've had a bet on 14-1 Lamar Jackson MVP. He's down to 6-1. Who would you say MVP is right now? Because Mahomes obviously is still leading Mahomes, but he played like shit yesterday.
why don't we just give it to Kelsey?
He's not even close.
What if we get?
I don't care.
I mean, Tyreek Hill should be a.
It's the propaganda machine.
You're leaving one guy out there who might be the most dangerous player in the league.
Tommy DeVito?
Close. 6 straight games of
Mhm.
125 plus yards receiving. NFL record over Calvin Johnson. A.J. Brown.
Fuck
2
yeah.
touchdowns last night again.
Yeah.
He is the most dominant receiver in the league right now. He might not be the best, might not be the quickest. He's the most dominant right now.
Matthew Stafford has better numbers to get an MVP than him. Isn't that crazy?
yeah, because
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
he's on pace. He's on pace for over 2,000 yards right now.
where's Tua?
2 is 375. He's tied with Hurts for second, and then it's Lamar. Then it's a big drop off to Allen, Lawrence, Purdy, McCaffrey.
But that's also another thing. If A.J. Brown gets to 2,000 yards or close, Jalen Hurts is benefiting off those.
Because they're going to give it to a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, it's become a quarterback award.
But even
But if Hurts is turning the ball over the way he is, and A.J. Brown's still putting up those numbers, I mean, a lot of things would
Yeah,
happen.
you need.
Hill
I mean,
has-
yeah.
Hill
you
has
kind of
better
need Hurts out of the.
numbers,
pack.
right?
Tyreek already has 1,000 yards.
Hill has better numbers, so he'll get before him too.
Tyreek could have a 2,000-yard season. He's got 1,014 yards in only 8 games.
That's insane.
What's the record for yards in a season by a wide receiver?
No,
Calvin Johnson, right?
might be
I would
right.
imagine. Yeah, he was an animal
So-
when he played.
This is the most wide open it's been though in a while. I feel like, where it's like not just gonna be
Right.
definitely Mahomes.
Yeah, it makes
or-
sense.
Yeah. Well, I
Calvin
think
Johnson has the most receiving yards in a season at 1964,
Ooh.
and Cooper Kupp is actually second at 1947.
Damn,
So-
they couldn't figure it out with Cup that year.
McCaffrey's in-
Tyreek's on pace to beat it by 100 yards.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but he
there's
better do
17
it.
games now.
He better do it in 16 games.
asterisk.
How about
He's on pace to even do that.
we haven't talked about this yet? Julio Jones having a touchdown for the Eagles.
It's back, baby.
Back.
What do you say?
Julio Jones.
Julio.
Julio Jones.
I love.
Love
Julio.
that.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
love
like
I
that.
like seeing.
Yeah, who doesn't? Yeah, that's awesome.
Also, my bet, I forgot to say it again, but my bet did hit. Greg Olson was announcing, and first touchdown was a tight end. So, tight ends, when Greg Olson's announcing, is hitting at an insane rate. Insane rate.
I want you to go back to astonishing.
I didn't know what word was going to come out, so I just
Started
went.
with he started with
It's like any time I say.
I think I was going to say astronomical.
Garrett,
But I didn't know what word was going to come out, so I just said
You were going astonishing.
astonishing.
Yeah.
Got it. So you don't know what's coming out sometimes. So you just got to change
I love
it up.
it. Yeah, switch up.
All right, yeah, Dolphins.
Football player, you know? Change it.
Dolphins with a big win. Chargers roll on Sunday Night Football. I'll be honest, kind of shut that one off pretty early.
That was
I went to Friends.
Yeah,
Chandler Bing.
sad.
Tough.
Really sad.
But it was
I
that
heard
game was
people
so
out there
terrible.
saying jokes too. It's like just let the guy fucking live, like or rest. It's horrible.
It really was.
That's respect.
That's one of the ones that hit me hard. Some celebrities you don't really.
I always like. He's
I'm
my
a big
favorite of the
Friends guy.
Friends. I thought he was
Also, hot
a
tub
funny guy.
is very. I'm not even kidding. Like a hot tub is really dangerous sometimes. You have to watch out when it gets really
When it
hot.
gets really hot.
It could really you don't know what could happen in there. It's really sad.
I think he is. I think he's the best male character. Bing?
In that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's the best character. Period. I thought he was.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't go over Rachel.
I mean, I thought he's funny than Rachel.
You don't think
That was
women are
hot.
funny?
No, that's
Oh,
not-
you
No, I never
very
said
good-
that.
Yeah, they were very good friends too.
said that.
They were all funnier than Ross.
Oh, Ross is.
That guy's the worst.
Yeah.
Ross-
sucks.
I like Ross better because I saw
thought
him
he
in.
played it good,
Oh, he did. No, nothing against David.
No,
Schwimmer.
he's
No, the character
No,
himself.
the character. Yeah.
David Schwimmer was great.
David Schwimmer's
he played,
fine.
he played a great character.
I feel bad for David Schwimmer when he took that role in Band of Brothers.
Why? Because he was an unlikable asshole, right?
Yeah, but if you see
Gotta
David
watch Family
Schwimmer,
Matters.
It's like guy can't get a winning role.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
David Schwimmer in Entourage and Curb is way better. He's in Curb and in Entourage. You remember that scene where he's just kind of an asshole? It was kind of nice to see him not be like this.
I don't remember him in Entourage.
He
It was when they were having a problem with the girl Lizzie,
Yeah.
who was sleeping with the other guy, the partner,
Andrew Klein.
Andrew Klein.
Oh, yeah.
And he like takes her out to dinner, and Andrew Klein crashes it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in that OJ documentary miniseries too, Robert
yeah, he was
Kardashian. Right?
Yeah.
He was good.
He was good in that. Yeah.
Matthew Perry's very good
Don't
too.
forget about
Yeah, really
Madagascar
sad.
too. David Schwimmer was the.
He was the giraffe. Melman. It's a good movie. Underrated.
Yeah, Matthew Perry was in Whole 9 Yards, I remember. But
Yes.
he wasn't in many movies.
Not
He was
a
in-
ton.
he
And
was
obviously,
in a
it makes
great
sense.
movie.
It makes sense now why he didn't like explode like that. Obviously, he had his demons. So.
He was in a movie called Serving Sarah with Elizabeth Hurley, and they had to shut production down halfway through because he had to go to rehab. So
What
he
was the
he kind of a
movie with
liability
Zac
for her.
Efron?
17 Again.
Great movie.
It was a remake, but
movie.
yeah, and it made a lot of money. Made a shit ton of money.
Plain
Hey,
movie.
Wagons East.
Wagons is the last movie that Chris Farley did. Yeah,
Sad.
very sad.
R.I.P. Chris Farley.
You want to just touch on college real quick?
Brad sucks.
Yep. It's 2 games in a row.
Yeah, I'm down on
games.
Brad. Rico.
It's killing me.
My units have gone up because he was doing so well. It's like, fuck it. Brad's been a weapon, and now it's been really put.
week.
Oh, and it's 2 losses in a row.
Vanderbilt sucked that game. They were so bad.
Yeah, but they were still right there.
They
Though.
were right there. No, they were right on number. It just didn't.
Made me
Yeah,
sad.
Louisville was easy. We said that. I've been rolling. I'm big game hunting.
Georgia.
Yep.
Yep.
How about
Easy.
Kansas? Rock chalk.
Yeah.
I had Kansas money line. That was a big bet for me.
Oklahoma, man. My hot take is this. I said it right away. I'm backing off it a little bit, but I still really kind of stand by it. I think there's a world. I don't know all the tiebreakers. There is very much a world that not only will Oklahoma and Texas not make the playoff, I don't think they can make the Big 12 championship game. Both of them. That's a world where we exist in right now.
Well, Texas is tough because
Oklahoma
I don't
State's getting
know-
hot and Kansas State's
I
getting
don't
hot.
know what Texas's quarterback situation, how they're going to be. That's the only reason. why.
K-State's got Texas this week. at
Oklahoma sucks. They stink. I wanted to talk to Ev. And you. Oh, you're here. Perfect.
Thank you.
Ohio State is not a top 4 team to
You
me.
got to figure out your offense.
Their offense,
We're
their
grinding
defense
out
is
wins.
incredible, but
Grinding out wins.
I think their 2 top 10 wins aren't top 10 teams.
So I was texting Big Cat. I was like, take Wisconsin first half. Take
You
it,
start
take
off so slow.
it. So slow.
And like with a good offensive team or a better team, they're going to get punched in the mouth too early and not be able to come back with their offense. That's the only thing I'm worried about with them. Obviously Ohio State's a good team. When I said I was pissed because I bet them, and I tweet things when I'm pissed and when I bet teams. But McCord isn't great. He does what he has to do for their defense, I feel like. But I feel like if you play in Oregon, someone like them, where they do have a good defense, but their offense can move very fast, I think they'll have a problem. But what do you think what's going on with them?
The defense is really good, and their offense just isn't there. Like it's going to be. I'm now getting concerned, even with all the cheating stuff and the terrible people up north. But that game worries me because this is.
Especially there, too.
Yeah, but let me ask
there,
you this.
and it's-
For all those years of why, as a gambler or somebody who predicted Ohio State to go 12-0, or you're laying big numbers with Ohio State because it's like, look at this receiver room, look at this quarterback, like all the flashy numbers. Doesn't having like a rock-solid defense a better build? Like, aren't you excited to at least have a change because defense travels and
Yeah, I mean,
defense
it's-
that is what can even if your offense is not playing well, you know your defense can keep you in the game or maybe not even keep you in the game, win the game. Like the offense can either come or whatever, but relying on an offense to have to score 50 and your defense to hold somebody to less than 50 is kind of a risky.
Rather a
thing.
better defense.
Yeah, you got a defense now. Like
Right.
that's- Don't get me wrong. It's weird that the offense, if you had this great defense with these offenses, forget it. You would have won 5 titles in a row. But I don't know. I think it's like an okay change is where I'm at.
Yeah, I would like knowing that you have Marvin Harrison Jr. and
Maserati Marv.
Maserati Marv. If we could just like, knowing you have that on offense, and yet you're not putting up crazy numbers. Like,
Yes.
what are we doing? Having great, it feels like an old school Ohio State team where it's like, yes, they play great defense, they try to run the ball, but you have an elite weapon in Harrison Jr. Like, why are we not just feeding him the ball left and right?
Like Levis to Hopkins. Throw it up to him.
Yeah, just throw it up to him.
Just find him.
He'll make the play. Like,
Yeah.
So that worries me a little bit, and it's going to be Thanksgiving's going to be interesting.
I just feel like they haven't played an offensive like juggernaut type of team yet. Or like Penn State, I mean Penn State showed this week they barely beat Indiana, and I still think that's a good win. I think Notre Dame they're the same. I think Notre Dame's the same type of team as Ohio State.
Let me tell you something. By the way, under the radar, if it was a 12-team playoff, guess who's knocking on the door? Notre Dame, 100%.
Oh yeah,
100% is still in the mix.
yeah.
So that's like a good win.
I can't wait for the 12-team playoff.
No, yeah,
It's
me
gonna be
neither.
so much fun.
I think Ohio State definitely they have good wins, 100%.
Would you consider
I just
Michigan
don't-
an offensive juggernaut, though?
Yeah,
They-
they've been 50. I mean, they've been blowing teams out, and
Yeah.
they're a team that has
A lot of-
are scoring, and
Yeah.
also their defense hasn't let up more than 10 points.
Yes, defense is definitely elite, but a lot of bad teams on Michigan's schedule as well.
100%. I think Penn State is it at Penn State? I think so,
I don't
right?
know.
It's
Yeah,
got to
that-
be if
This weekend?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be at least a little bit you can see. I don't know. I still don't think Penn State's great, but
See, I think they were sleeping in between Ohio State and then you have Indiana. And
Yeah.
I know Indiana's supposed to be somewhat
ahead
good and
there,
everything.
too,
but
yeah.
like, and then you're going to Michigan. Like that was a letdown week.
100%. I truly, if I had to pick one team that's the best, I think it's Oregon. I really do. I think that they played in a tough game in Washington, and if they play they play a neutral site game in that Pac-12 championship, they will beat them. And I think that I really do.
What's Arizona's future now in the Pac-12?
I don't know.
Can they win?
Oh, no. But this quarterback, yeah. We said this. We knew it right away. When the Pac-12, and I still think they're a very good conference, and they have a lot of good teams. But you looked and, like, Wazoo was ranked, UCLA was ranked, Oregon State was ranked, Washington ranked, Oregon ranked. You're like, this, and USC was ranked. You're like, this ain't going to last.
Yeah.
And they've already started to just
USC
eat
is
each other alive.
trash.
USC's trash. Oregon State now lost.
a
Wazoo's
bad
off the
loss.
tank with them. Like, you're watching.
Washington barely beaten
Yeah.
Stanford. They're barely beaten Arizona State.
See, I know why they do it, and I get it. So I understand the reasoning behind it, but I think it would be better if they didn't put out the rankings till like week 3.
Dude, I've been saying that from the
I don't.
Yes.
I
No,
do
it's
not
not
agree
fair.
with that. It
Why-
is.
It's not fair because why should a team who starts at 6 just like because why are they 6? Because you said they are.
Yeah, but I think that's what last year's for. But also TV TV ratings. You need. They love having.
Yeah, no, I know why they do it, but I still think it's stupid.
Don't they look back like when teams like when Colorado was ranked and you beat
No.
Colorado? They don't look back as
No, they-
as like that's obviously wasn't a great win.
It takes
Okay,
a little.
well-
It takes a little while for them to adjust on that. That's what I'll say. Like Colorado back then was considered a good win. Now it's not. It's just truthfully not.
But I think it always plays itself out that like when they realize say Notre Dame lost 6 games after Ohio State beat them, be like, oh, okay, well that's not a great win anymore. But now it is because Notre Dame's been playing better. I don't know.
So I think you could wait 1 or 2 weeks and then start it up. Because week 0, no one's playing anybody anyways.
Yeah,
I think 4 to 5 weeks, really, to be honest with you. But
that's just far too long.
let the non-conference games play out and see how you judge teams, and then let them get into
It
conference.
is funny though this year where there's Ohio State, Georgia and Michigan, where everyone's like not completely sold on them yet, but they're undefeated, beating the shit out of teams.
Yeah.
And it's just because they haven't really played anyone. But it's like, it's so weird when you talk shit about a team that hasn't lost.
Dude, I listed
Me
out.
doing Ohio State, like I get it why people get mad at me, but
I listed out the playoff contenders. People are very mad from Missouri. They're like, we're still in this race.
Missouri.
Anything else to disrupt?
Missouri?
Missouri is 7-1. Or
No, I get it.
if they beat Georgia, they're going to the and win out. They're going to the SEC championship game. Missouri is still on the contender list.
They are, but
right
they
now,
aren't.
100%.
Is that Missouri?
I don't know, but the Missouri people were mad. Yeah, I think it's weird. The ACC is down to really one team. Like it's got to be Florida State.
They're gonna
terms of a
they're
playoff?
gonna run through it.
They should run through it, but shit happens.
Florida State's very good though.
They are very
They're
good.
very good.
But it's just, now you got a conference with one team holds your playoff hopes. That's the same with the Big 12. Like, I think the Big 12 could be very much out of this race.
You're talking
Don't buy
about
Oklahoma. I don't know if Texas can run the table. I don't think Texas wins this week. I'll put that out
You're
there.
talking about Missouri. What about Ole Miss? They've still played Georgia, and their one loss would be Alabama.
Yeah.
That's
Ole Miss is on that list.
that's
too.
crazy too.
Yeah.
Where it's like no one's talking about Ole Miss.
Well, Ole
They're-
Miss
they're-
also needs Alabama. How does it work? Ole Miss lost to Alabama, so Ole Miss
Yeah.
needs LSU to win?
If LSU wins and then,
And then
Ole
they
Miss
need-
beats
Yes.
Georgia,
yeah,
they're in.
Ole Miss. That's why I still think I don't care what Ev.
Oh God,
I'm telling you,
Stop it.
LSU is still in the playoff mix.
stop it! It's
Dude,
at it's
they
at
beat Alabama
Missouri's
and
at
Georgia
by the way.
in the SEC title game. They will be the first team with 2 losses to get into that mix.
I would just love
Telling you.
Ole Miss to get into the playoff like right there just for the football gods of Mincy.
Oh, I'd love
Well,
to see Brandon
I'd
Walker
like-
just get so mad at Mincy
So-
for Ole Miss being good.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin's been unbelievable.
Yeah, he has. What about this for a playoff game? Michigan, Ole Miss. I can already see like the.
Imagine
And isn't there one in a nice place, or is it Florida? Where are the playoff
I
games
don't
this year?
know.
Can
I
we
don't
pull
know.
that up? But I could already see like, Dave, we're gonna have the box. Like, he's just
Am I on the
Had
plane?
a
Working 'em.
Mincy going to Miami at Dave's
Oh,
house.
working them. No, they'd go to the game and he'd just work them. Like, yeah, I think that would be a hilarious playoff. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. Oregon looks complete. It sucks
Oregon's-
that they lost, but Oregon looks complete.
Still on their own path, like their path is if they win that conference and the championship, they're in. Washington has looked a lot worse lately than, and I think Oregon really only has they have USC left. I don't know who else they have.
USC and Oregon State. I know.
Oregon State. Oregon State's the last game. Yeah.
I think Oregon State's going to give them more of a trouble than USC. USC sucks.
Yeah,
They're
USC's
not
not
good.
good.
USC stinks. World Series
Yeah.
1-1.
I think the Diamondbacks are entirely in the driver's seat right now. Game 3, you have Max
Who did you
Scherzer.
pick before the series? By the way,
Diamondbacks.
You did.
I put money on them, yeah. Max Scherzer.
Talk about flip flop too.
Oh, yeah, I flip flop.
Is-
Oh, yeah, you got to evolve.
Philly's gonna take him out in 5 games.
You got to evolve.
Laughable.
most-
Brandon,
I know.
Fa-
He's the biggest
Brandon
flipper
Fat
in
is
the
the worst
world.
player to ever start a game ever.
Never said that. Said worst pitcher to start a game 1 this century.
Fucking joke.
Max Scherzer
Didn't
is.
take the favorite though, so I guess that's.
Everyone wants to make funny. I'm number 1 in this fucking room this month. Max Scherzer.
Everything.
That's what the guy told me. Max Scherzer. Well, let me get to do this here. Game 3, I like the Diamondbacks a lot because Scherzer. Game 4, I like the Diamondbacks because they have better bullpen. Game 5, you got Gallen at home. Game 6, I don't know. But Game 7, if it gets that far, I like the Diamondbacks there too because you have Scherzer again. So I think the Diamondbacks, the fact that they were able to steal 1 in Texas is so huge.
Well, that was the narrative coming out in the group chat of the baseball chat. Was coming out of game 1. It's like, oh my God, the Diamondbacks blew that.
You just say group chats. Like who's group chat?
Whoever
Baseball one.
baseball one that we work
We're in a
with here.
we're in a baseball.
All right,
It
you,
was-
just, you don't you have to explain to the people.
All right, fair enough.
I know.
Fair.
Somebody goes coming out of game 1. It was like, oh my God, the Diamondbacks blew that. Now you're like you're on the mat. You could potentially get swept. Coming out of game 2, it goes, holy shit! If they didn't blow that save,
Yeah.
they just stole 2 in Texas. To go
The
back home.
series be over.
Yeah, it's like you have a stranglehold. So it's crazy how it's going. I said it. Fat is the X factor. Fat's been great for them throughout this postseason. He delivers tonight and gets them ahead.
Fat can even do
Great
it in Game
spot.
7. 4 innings, 2 runs. If he can just do that, it's great. I really like the line tonight on the outs. Scherzer is 14.5. Take the under. That is. I was crazy it was that high. And then Fat is only 13.5. I took the over there. And on the Diamondbacks money line.
To kill you. That the Phillies would run away with this right now.
Baseball. Baseball's over.
You really think you'd run away with it?
Yeah. I think the Phillies
they'd
would
win.
beat the
1,000%.
Rays.
They have the most talent, but I thought the
Would it be
Phillies
a
would win the
sweep?
LCS though.
Yeah.
I think you win in 6 against the.
Also, what do you think about the narrative coming out of baseball
I don't know.
that they were like,
Nope. No, they don't deserve to be.
Also, Garcia is like the best story in a while of like postseason, and even Marte 18 games
Incredible.
is insane.
And Corey Seager. I mean,
Yeah, he's been great. And also shout out your boy Tommy Pham from the Mets. He said that he's been vocal on Twitter, which I like. About one, he wrote down what Bruce Bochy was saying, like dumb motherfucker to him.
Oh, it's Mike Maddox,
Sorry.
pitching coach.
Him, and then also they said that it would have been the first time in a World Series that any time a player would go 5 for 5.
Right.
And he said, "Stop with this nonsense. I wanted my guy to get his first World Series at bat." Great.
He sacrifices at bat, so Jace Peterson, a veteran who wasn't going to get a lot of playing time, could get an at bat in the World Series. Really
One
cool
at bat all
move by Tom Pham.
postseason. So I was like, good for him.
Yeah.
I like that when players talk on instead of just letting some narratives go. You know.
And by the way, Longoria. Let's talk about your guy Longoria for a second. So Longoria bunts in Game 2. And that brings, so the third baseman then the next at bat moves in. So what does Longoria do? He hits it where the third baseman would have been, ends up being a huge double. Longoria's, that's such a smart baseball way, move there. I don't know.
I hope he gets one. I really hope he gets a World. That's crazy. Imagine like just joining your home team. Like he lives in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's like, let me just join the Diamondbacks.
Corbin Carroll, like how incredible is this season?
Yeah.
One of the most impactful rookies in baseball history. Right there, DiMaggio and Fernando Valenzuela. It's just,
I would lose.
I'm not even doing this to tweak him. I just love baseball.
It's all justifiable. It's
so
just
excited.
Hard to hear. It is.
Yeah.
I lose my mind.
Jump on that.
Fuck up games 3 and 4. Just show up to play. Be somebody. Don't act like you've been there.
You go back.
Talk about it. Be about it.
You go back to the best pitcher on the planet to
Yeah.
close out in Game 5.
I did. I bet the Sixers last night. They look great.
The Sixers are actually playing great basketball.
Pat Bev bringing that team together.
Yeah, I'm Pat Kelly Oubre. Like Maxi's an all-star. The one thing, I mean, it is night and day just watching a game coached by Doc Rivers and Nick Nurse. Cohesiveness and the offensive ability, and then it is night and day. So that's refreshing. The only thing is Nick Nurse is going to fucking drive these these guys into the ground. So early in the season, yeah, they look good. Well, let's see how after Christmas.
Pat Bev too. I saw a clip of him saying he like got Embiid to do like suicides after practice. And it was so funny. He's like the way he explains how Embiid is. Hey, if MVP's doing suicides after practice, I'm all in. And my Dallas Mavericks are 2-0, by the way.
Any closer to the Sixers trading Harden? Where are they with
He was
that?
at the game last night.
Yeah, they're going to wait out for value.
This whole fucking thing is bizarre.
So weird.
It's weird. I think the plan is they're going to suit him up after a 10-day quote ramp up period.
Okay.
Bizarre.
The Knicks suck, by the way.
What?
I don't think the Knicks are very good.
That is what it is.
All right.
College basketball starts in a week. I'm good.
I'm good. Fucking Duke looks great.
Marty, speaking of which,
Beat Villanova in a secret scrimmage.
I was watching last night. Kansas played an exhibition against Illinois and lost. They didn't look that great.
Hunter
didn't look great.
My guy Hunter Dickinson has still never beat Illinois in his life. Even Kansas exhibition game.
Still the Fighting Illini?
Yeah.
They still let that through?
I think so.
I went to a recruiting visit and went to a basketball game there, and they had the chief or whatever doing the whole thing. It was awesome. I loved it. It was amazing.
Picks for tonight.
Yeah, the Scherzer under and outs, Fat over on outs, and I have the Diamondbacks money line, which is basically a pick 'em.
All right. What do you like for Monday Night Football, Nick?
I want to take Detroit. I do. But 7 seems like a lot.
I'm rooting for the Raiders outright.
I don't. No, I'm gonna stick with Detroit. Dan Campbell's gonna be. I'll take him at the 7.
All right. I'll be a fathead tonight. I'll take the Diamondbacks. I'm rooting for the Raiders, but I don't know if I trust it enough. We'll see. I'll cook up a touchdown. We'll probably get something cooked for the parlay.
I saw Gibbs was
streaming tonight as well.
Gibbs was minus 160. That seems like a big number. I was scared off of that.
Streaming tonight, so we'll have World Series and that on.
Smitty, what do you got?
I got Diamondbacks and I got Lions. Boom. That's it.
I'm going to go Diamondbacks, too. I'm going Raiders +7 and money line, and then I'm going Devontae Adams over 74.5 yards. I think he's going to have at least 110.
Devontae Adams over 74.5 yards. I like that.
That seems like kind of...
They're going to be losing, too. In figure, in second half, they'll
Yeah.
be throwing to him a lot.
And Garoppolo looks for him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should.
That seems like
I think any
Shouldn't look for anybody else.
Kobe Myers is having a pretty nice year for him.
He is.
Yeah. All right. That's Pick Central. We will see you tomorrow. Barstool Radio on now.
How about them Jets?
Kings in New York.